Okay, great. That took a minute. I don't know why that took so long. Hi, good evening. I'm in a new city today, so I wanted to show you the beautiful scene out this window. It's like a painting, so that's why I'm trying this setup this morning. But good morning, good evening. I'm Beth Reeves. I'm a care manager currently in China and sharing my experience, sharing my journey, talking about different things each day. I kind of trying to have different themes. Today is business building, because while I am traveling, I am also um, transitioning my business, exploring business ideas and building business. And that's fun. So today we're talking about that. And I'm going to particularly talk about the idea of finding your niche and what a lot of advice is about finding your niche out there and kind of what I've personally found about it. So, but before we get into that, let me show you out the window. Since I'm still not able to take you out like fully on journeys outside, but look at this. Let's see if I can just. This is the city. Sorry, I'm a little shaky here. This is the city of Dongjiang in Hunan province in China. You can see there's some mountains there behind the clouds. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning here, of course. And there's a garden down there. It just looks so quintessential Chinese. And then I can show you kind of out this window, just kind of like not as picturesque, but just kind of the city. This beautiful lake, which I haven't seen yet. I'll go out today. And people come here, particularly 2 months of the year. I think it's March and October, where the lake just has this amazing mystical fog on it, and people come to see the fog. So yeah, and I guess we're getting a sense of that this morning. So anyway, so let's talk about finding your niche. I think a lot of people, when they talk about the niche, the one thing that I hear people saying is, I'm going to hold my computer today, so bear with me, is to really focus, right? To have a really strong focus on your niche. Niche down, niche down, niche down. And, work on finding your customer avatar and like really picturing your ideal customer and who is that customer and be really specific. And this was always a real challenge for me, particularly with my 8 Keys business, 8 Keys to Thriving as You Age program, because I couldn't even decide, like, am I serving people who have dementia? Am I serving the families who are caring for the people who have dementia? Am I serving the other professionals, that I work with, who we're all in this together, trying to figure out how to help the families and the people who have dementia? Because it worked. It's a general framework, and so it covers. It's a framework, and so it's like a tool for everybody to use. And then as I've been traveling, of course, I don't have a lot of time, and I think one of the things that's exciting at this current time is how many tools there are out there. Um, but it's also overwhelming because there are so many tools. And even though I started studying these tools over 2 years ago now, I joined a group called the Secret AI Society. So great, which has been really wonderful. Amazing teacher, Jenna Sword, who's the founder, and then just amazing other people in the group, mainly women, but all amazing. And so I got to start studying and working with tools and just hearing what other people were doing and how they were using the tools. And I still am every day learning from them. But it's hard to know what to do with that and how to use it and everything. So I feel like, I also feel like there's a there's your niche, which is kind of like customer focused and like market focused. And then there's your niche, which is your purpose or your heart focused, right? And where do you feel energized and where do you feel called or whatever, you know? And both of these are important. It's like the ikigai, Venn diagram. And he's like, what do people need? What are you good at? And what will people pay for or something like that. I forget what the three are. But so I wanted to just a little bit here. Oop, go down to my notes. And I feel, one of the phrases my dad used to say is, or I think it was my dad, maybe it comes from somewhere else, but it's jack of all trades and master of none. Oh, hey, Bloom. Good morning. Good evening. I mean, how are you? Did you see out the window? Were you here just a second ago, or did you just join? I'm in a new location and I have this huge window in my hotel room. And so I was showing people out the window. Okay, I'll show you again. Let me just show you real quick. I just feel like it's like a painting. Look at this. Get myself out of the look at that. Isn't that crazy? It's so idyllic Chinese. So pretty. Ah. So it's a new town. This is a new place. A new day, a new town for Beth. This is the town of Dongjiang, and it's known for its beautiful lake. It's a huge, beautiful lake, and people come here 2 months out of the year, I think March and October, when there's like a special mystical fog on the lake, and so people come just for that. So I haven't seen the lake yet, but yeah, that's where we are today. 365 towns in 365 days. It's not far off. I have to say, I was counting last night. I was like, because I was texting with a friend and I was like, okay, wait, let's just think about this. Since January 11th, when my tour started, basically, I've been in 11 cities. 11 cities. But this one, I booked it. I booked it for 2 weeks, so I'm hoping I actually took my shoes and I like put them in the cubby. I'm like, I live here now. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But that's the plan. Anyway, so this morning, I just wanted to talk a little bit about finding your niche because I think it's such an interesting and challenging, at least for me, it's been a very challenging thing to do. And I do think that this phrase I was just talking about, jack of all trades, master of none, I feel like that applies to me. Not that I'm not a master of my trades, but that I don't have that one thing that I like. That's my thing, and I tend to be very flexible, adaptable, and that's great. I can do many things. I'm a great asset to any company because I can do all sorts of things. They can point me in all sorts of directions, and I can do them. But that gets really exhausting. It's kind of like hitting 11 cities in 11 days, right? Gets very exhausting to change all the time. So it was kind of funny. A little aside, yesterday, while I was getting to this town, arriving in this 11th city, I was reading a blog, and it was about a woman who's reading a Benedictine book, or a book about Benedictine monks, and one of their core tenets is to not move. And I thought that was like, okay, universe, I don't want to move. I want to be stable. I want to be in one place. But I thought that was really cool. Like one of the core tenets of the Benedictine month is like, you work where you're planted. So wherever you are, that's where you do your work, And yeah, I think that's a good tenet. I think that my life has always been in movement. I mean, if I think about it, like when I was 6 months old, my family went to England. When I was 9 years old, my family traveled around the world. I mean, I lived in Nepal when I was 11, 9, 11, 9. I always get forget. See, 1979. So I must have come into this life with some traveling karma. So I don't know if I was trying to do the Benedictine approach. At what point I would have stopped the traveling? Like where do I choose when I stop? I don't know. Hopefully it's soon. Um, okay, but anyway, niches. So I think of my sister, who is a harpist, professional harpist. She started studying harp when she was, I think, 12 or something. So not like 5, teenage years. But immediately she just felt like that was her thing. And she then, of course, she became she stuck with it, right? So then, she studied it. She went to college for it. She got her master's degree in it. She's a teacher. That's what been her life, is playing harp. and it's evolved over her life. She does different things. Like right now, she's a therapeutic musician. So she actually plays harp for people in retirement homes. And sometimes she'll go into hospitals and play there and things like that. And so that's wonderful. But it's always been the harp. And I just like, I kind of envied that, like, wow, you always just you knew what your thing was. And for me, it's been more varied, and like everybody keeps saying, you'll find that thing where it all comes together. So here's hoping. And I'm really interested in hearing about other people and how they find their niche too. I mean, I know that we evolve, but sometimes I get called to do something or get really excited about something, but it's not practical, or I mean, like maybe the skills are maybe I don't have the skill, or the skill will take too long to build, or something like that, that kind of thing. Well, I'm trying to pull up my notes from ChatGPT here on my left, and it's like gone back to the beginning. And now I keep trying to scroll down and it keeps popping back up. Okay, wait a second. I think we're getting there. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Levine. Yeah, my sister using music to help people, it's really cool. It's so profound. She actually gets grants right now. She's been getting grants. She's been doing it for several years now, and she's been getting grants, show about the study of how music helps people. And so she reports back on it and stuff. And I have another friend who's a therapeutic musician in North Carolina. And it's like one of the best things we can do, because for people with dementia, particularly, the brain, it's losing its ability to speak and see and understand the world, and like cognize the world around. Music is still there. Music is the last thing that's there in the brain. So people may not be, maybe kind of comatose. There's a movie called Alive Inside, and people may be kind of comatose and not moving at all, not responding to anything. And then you can come in and play some music. And not only will they come alive and start moving to the music, but they'll sing the words, everything. So music, yeah, powerful thing. I wish I could sing. That's what I wish. I don't know if either of you can sing, but I mean, I can sing, but like, I really wish I could really sing. That would be so awesome. That's why I like Suno so much, because it's like I get to play being a musician. That makes so much sense. Bloom says the easiest way to learn is with music and lyrics, like the ABC song. Yeah, that's true too. It's also the good thing for learning, right? For teaching and education, using music. Yeah, we could sing too. Oh well, maybe AI will help us. Maybe we'll be able to I don't know, change our voices somehow. I want to actually do it though. I don't want it to just be AI. Anyway. So, all right, just a little about my journey, I guess, with my niche. And I'm not there yet, but I think that part of my thinking that has changed recently is that I used to think my niche was dementia care. And my identity was kind of like, I love dementia care. I help people, older adults with dementia and their families, and I support their planning for their later years. I still love that. I do. But when I think about, when I'm thinking about my how I define what I do, it wasn't fully capturing it. And so now, as I'm doing the AI and I'm trying to create these information products, and I even working with the school here in the English school and working with the kids, and I think I'm like, I like this too. I work with people a lot of times on their strategy and their marketing strategy and their business strategy. I love helping people think about their dreams and achieve their dreams, and I'm really good at that. It's very natural for me. And I'm like, but that has nothing to do with dementia care. So what is that? Is that just something I like, or is that something part of my niche? So with like the audio series, it kind of is bringing things together. Here's hoping, because I'm I get to I get to geek out and do research. I get to write, whether it's an art or you know, a song, or, in this case, an audio series. It's like, I like that process of taking my ideas and putting them into a product. Um, but it's also still guiding. It's still strategic, guiding and helping people. But it's not specifically dementia. Like, I can do, like, when I did the Orange series, that wasn't, I think people with dementia can enjoy that, but it's really also for younger kids, perhaps, who wanna learn English. So I guess, yeah, that's kind of the thought that I have right now, is my niche is changing, and I felt very uncomfortable when I started to think that way, like, "Oh, am I changing my niche?" I felt very uncomfortable because it was like the identity that I had been living with now for these 10 years or so, um, I was gonna have to let that go, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have strong feeling of your niche at this point, or if you're, like, transitioning your niche, or if you've transitioned your niche. I'd be curious. Um, but I think, yeah, I guess I just was thinking about that tension between having clarity and then exploring and changing, having exploration at the same time. So Bloom says, yes, identity change is always uncomfy. Yeah. I mean, it's exciting and it's fun, but yeah, it's uncomfortable at the same time. I actually knew a guy a long time ago, who was also really interested in this idea of change, because he had been, speaking of Benedictine monks, he had been a Benedictine monk. That's so funny that I'm thinking of him now. Um, and then he had disrobed and was in studying in college, and was like finding his way and whatever. And so he was really interested in how people like find their purpose in life. Um, yeah, Bloom says she's always been an artist, but what she makes, how she makes it, how she creates and shares her art has changed over the years. I was thinking about you a lot, Bloom, because I do get that sense. I mean, you've been doing this for 30 years. You have so much knowledge and experience and depth, you know what I mean, to what you do. And I also envy that, because I'm just like, wow, I wish I had more training, specifically in, design and art. And, like, I've always just done it, but it's never been I don't have a degree in it. I've never, I'm so, um, yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that. And I was thinking of you as like having that through line, in your career and your life, and how amazing it is, and how cool it is that now, like, you're able to see it, transform it into these new ways, and apply it in these new ways. And yeah. Jilly Bean, you've been an artist all your life too? Ah, but it's never too late to start. Yeah, I mean, I actually, I just think it's not too late to start, but like, I can't learn. I don't, I can't do everything, right? Like, I can't go back and uh, I don't know. Yeah. So I do think that that's like the audio series. I'm hoping is kind of, because it's a smaller container, and I can work on really perfecting that, I can, you know, I can do that. Like I can dedicate myself to learning about voice and audio recording and I'm going to do HeyGen. That's part of my goal for this week is to really play around with HeyGen more and experiment with that and looking at the tools that I could use for this product. And, you know, yeah. But I just, oh my gosh, looking at the art that you guys have been creating, these, on the LinkedIn stuff recently, and it's like, it's amazing. And it's just, it keeps getting better and better and better. Just like, and I haven't been able to do it. And so I feel like I'm really falling behind in the whole like, you know, prompting art, creation thing because, it's just amazing. And it takes me a long time. Like when I do the Midjourney prompts, even those daily prompts, like I'm not quick at it. Um, and so to do them every day, I mean, it probably takes me over an hour probably to come up with an idea and get something I like and play around with it. And I mean, sometimes you get lucky, but it takes me a long time. Um, yeah, but they're so cool. Oh my gosh, the one snake in the grass bloom that I just saw that this morning. So cool. And the flowers, the eyes open as the snake moves in grass. It's so good. Sorry, my computer's bouncing around, you guys. My arm is getting tired. I probably should face this way so you can see the background. But Bloom says you say that it takes you an hour, 2 to 3 hours for one of your designs? Wow. Okay. That's amazing. I feel better. But it's just like you do so much that I thought you must be doing them really quickly. You do them every day on top of everything else you do. You're a miracle worker, I think. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of it. I really didn't have much more to say. It was just kind of sharing my thought process this morning about my changing identity, my changing niche. Bloom says for her art challenge is she's not quick. She usually starts in the morning, pops in, and keeps trying cooking throughout the day and going back and forth. That's a good idea. I like that. I'm going to try again this week when I'm actually, I live here because I live here. Come here now. But I mean, it's like every new place I go, I have to find the hotel. Like yesterday, I had to change the hotel because the first one I booked, it was like, not quite right. And then I found this one. I was like, yeah, this feels better. And then now this morning, though, like I have to find the food. Like where's the food? Where's the lake? How do I walk in the morning? Where do I go? Like new places. Yeah, for the art. Uh, Julie Bain says, I'm not behind. I'm moving at my own pace, and I'm doing it. That's what matters. Thank you, Julie Bean. She says, if she finds a big enough niche, she'll probably crawl in and take a nap. Yeah. And Bloom says for the daily prompts, maybe do one per week. Doesn't have to be every day. Yeah, I know, but I like the every day because I like rhythm. You know what I mean? Like when I was doing it every day, I really like that because it does really. I find that things that are even with the YouTube lives, like I think that's one thing I like about it is that it is day. If I do something weekly, it's like I almost forget about stuff because a week is so long. So many things happen. I lose track of time in a week. At least I do in my recent life. So yeah, I like the daily. I like the daily idea. I'm gonna see if I can do it. So all right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see you. I hope that we get to do another live one of these days and actually, like I don't know, Bloom, if you do another movie watch or something where everybody's together. I guess we were going to do that with the vision board thing. We were going to get together on screen, but that would be really fun to actually see you all. So Yeah, movie night. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Bye.